Now, you said, was it the 3rd, this past Saturday, you had Officer Beatty in town, and he was sitting in front of the bar. Is that what you said, he logged 45 minutes?
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yeah. And then, and he was sitting out in front of the bar when he left.
Was that your understanding?
Is that correct?
Yes.
And, I mean, clearly...
I mean, if you're sitting there, nothing changed, then that could have...
Well, he stopped a violator, you know, a violator. He stops them for loud exhaust, because that's one of the complaints. They leave, so...
I believe it was the weekend before.
Okay.
It was the weekend I had the band.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But,
well, there were 2 complaints that night. One was earlier. We had both cars tied up in Auburn on an assault. Another complaint come in later. And at that point, Matt had already come up here and was sitting here. He stops the violator. He's out with that, and boom, they get another loud noise complaint or something that Matt's like, I was there. I'm telling you, I didn't hear nothing. You know, they sat across the alley. You know, I mean, it's...
I mean, when you were here in July, you stated that either with them or July or whatever, if you had the windows down or you stopped, really, that you guys hadn't ever had a problem with noise from it, really, back then.
I think there's probably been 1 or 2 legitimate complaints that we found that we would consider. One was the jukebox.
Right, and that was because the back speaker got turned up, yeah. And I understood that.
And that was rectified right away.
Exactly.
And then, you know, we've had some other issues where, you know, they'll drive by and they'll hear them talking on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
You know, she's right, you can't smoke in the bar.
I can't.
You know, unless you're going to tell your patrons, don't smoke out in front of my business. You know, and that's unrealistic.
Right.
When you drink, you smoke. So, you know, I'm not saying, for the record, that there's no validity to their complaints. I'm not going to say that, you know, because some have been founded. But on the other hand, what are we going to do to rectify this? You know, like I said, I'll say it for the 4th time. I work for you. You tell me what you want to do. If you want me to charge them the next time, that's what we'll do. You know,
You're talking if it's founded. But you know, every time I've been asked to turn music down, I've always done that.
Well, there are lots of times violations of law get done and we don't witness them. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. Just because it's not happening the minute we get there. If we can have somebody come in and testify that this is what I saw, this is what I heard.
But doesn't it become my word against theirs then?
It does. You're absolutely right.
I mean...
That's what it boils, and that's what it's always boiled down to, is your word against theirs.
But if there's 6 of them and 1 of me, where do I stand? You know, that's what upsets me.
That's why we have the judicial system that we have. You know, I mean, here's the other issue. If we don't do something, then it looks like we're not doing anything. You know, and like I said, just because you get charged doesn't mean you're guilty. Just means there's probable cause to believe a violation may have been committed. Let a judge decide. Request a jury trial. Have a jury decide. You know, I mean, there's lots of options. I mean, and I'm not advocating that's what I think we need to do, but that is an option. So.
Richard, have you been called during any of these complaints? Have you heard?
I think he drove down and I just walked in the bar there.
Yeah.
I hardly hear any noise.
Okay.
He was standing at the bar one day when the call came first.
It seems like the rate of complaints has gone up considerably in the last 2 months.
Well, and that's why it came in July, because we had a rash of them in June, you know.
Sure.
And I thought we need to head this off before we get too far into the summer. You know, in June we had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4. Every weekend we had one.
And I had 1 band that month.
5th, 12th, 19th, and 20th. 2:13 in the morning, 1:16 in the morning, 1:16 in the morning, and 10:08 in the evening.
And you know, another thing is when people go out, they've been drinking, they smoke, they're loud. I cannot, as a business owner, control their decibel of speaking when they're out in front of my business.
No, you're right, you can't, but on the flip side to that, it's causing you grief.
the whole thing's causing me grief.
You know,
I wish she'd move. This is where I'm at.
Well, I bet she wishes you would move.
Well, guess what? That's why she's doing what she's doing, but she's not running me out of town.
You know.
I guarantee you that. She's not winning on this.
You know, I mean, it's, you know, I don't know what your answer is, you know. Unless you send somebody outside to babysit your patrons as they stand on your front sidewalk.
Do you think the next time the next person isn't going to keep it a bar? You know, that's the thing, you know.
I don't know. Don't know. That's not my decision.
No, but I mean, does she think the bar is going to go away? It's not going to go away. I'm not going to stop having entertainment. I'm just not going to. I couldn't survive if I did. Entertainment brings people. You know, and if that's what she feels, if she's going to gain by all this, I'll start having a band every weekend. No, I won't. I'm not. Just being honest with you.
Well, I understand your frustration. You know, and again, I'm not going to say there's not any validity to her complaints.
Right.
But I'm not going to say every one of them have been founded either. You know, so.
Would you think that, say you got charged for a violation and went to court, would you think that would stop it, or?
No, I don't think it's going to stop it at all.
Yeah.
Even if the judge finds that I'm not guilty, I don't think he'll stop it.
Yeah.
I think she is just, excuse my French, hell-bent on running me out of town. And it's not going to happen. I'm not letting her win. I'm too bullheaded for that. And that's my business. That's my livelihood. And there's no way she's going to win. If I have to pay a fine, I pay a fine. But I ain't leaving. And if that's what she's trying to gain, she's not going to get it.
Last month, did you guys have any complaints that you know of? A lot of those.
Well,
Well, I had one call.
I didn't get that far into the game. You got one call last month?
November 27th, November 26th.
I can't remember, but
Who called
the
you?
lady calls me
Joe.
and lets me know it's loud.
Everyone.
It's like,
And October 30th.
it's like around
I mean,
10
'cause I made a comment, I'd like you to call me.
Had to get a band.
October
made that
30th and
comment.
November
I'd like
27th.
you to come down to hear it, and nobody called.
Yeah.
You know, just to hear it, because if they're having a complaint, you don't come down and listen, we don't know personally. You know, we're taking everybody's word.
Richard has come down.
I'll give you a call.
But, well, you know what I mean?
Richard has come
That's what I was
down.
asking.
Yeah.
And when you went down, it wasn't loud?
I even drove around the block, in the alley and everything.
And came in.
is there a law that states how loud a band or music can be in a bar? No?